This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. I can see Prasad on the call as well. Hi Prasad. Any
Hi.
questions? Any questions? Queries?
Yep. No.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. Let me share my screen. So in the last class, we were discussing about the deals. So deals are nothing but your opportunities. So for one of your records, so where you had created the opportunity, so which is where we had created only one single opportunity. So like in the same way, so for multiple records, so whenever you're practicing, so please make sure to create as many opportunities as you can with different stages. So take some opportunities to closed one and take some opportunities to the closed lost, like how you're seeing in the previous example, closed one. Take other opportunities to the closed lost. Okay, and we see how we can take the opportunity to closed one or closed lost. Okay, so the next part, so within your account, so where you have the next child one, the child object is where you have the cases. So these cases along with the solutions object, so these two will see in your service application. Okay, so the completely service application deals with the cases and the solutions object. The cases and solutions generally don't come into the sales application, so this goes within your service application. Okay, so the next part, so here we have the activities. Okay, so which is called open activities. So activities, let me, so what is today's date? 29. Okay, so activities, so it does not have any specific definition, but activities are of two types, so which is a task and an event. Task and an event. So what is a task and what is an event? So task is nothing but any activity, or I can say any action to be done. Any action to be done. So now let's suppose I'm your manager. So in the Salesforce project, so now I can create some task, I can create some actions, and I can assign it to you directly. Like call to the customer, follow up with the customer, send requirements document to the customer, and go and meet customer in person. So these are the different actions or the tasks, so which I can create and I can assign it to you. So whenever I assign some activities which are of type task, so whenever I create some actions to you, so I can also make it a priority one. So whether it is high priority or medium priority or a low priority, and I can also make that due date. Due date means by when you have to finish off the task. If I'm manager, if I give some actions or a task, I can set up some due time. So by within next 2 days or 5 days or n number of days, you have to finish off this high prioritized task. Okay, this is nothing but a task. So next, what is an event? So event is nothing but a scheduling a meeting with your customers. So now your customer has requested some quotation, sorry, some requirement. So based on that, you have released a quotation, and now the customer is not satisfied with your quotation. So now they want to come up with a negotiation. So there is some clash happening between the negotiation and the quotation. So where you are not coming up with the required discount where the customer is asking, and customer is not ready to give the is not ready to go with as per the quotation which you have mentioned. So in this case, so better to have the mutual mails, having the mutual communication through mails, better to schedule a meeting with the customer. So whenever if you would like to schedule a meeting, or if you had already scheduled a meeting with the customers, then all the meetings, whatever you had scheduled or whatever you're going to schedule, should go under the events object. So task is a one object and event is another object. under your activities. Okay. So now for my company, so which is my company is ABCD, so which is a product based company, and for my company, so this is one of my customer. Okay, this is one of my corporate customer. Okay, corporate customer. So now whenever this is a corporate customer, so now for the corporate customers, we have created the contacts, we have created the opportunities as well. So now every time that we communicate, with this, with our corporate customers, we have to create activities. So why we have to create activities? This is for the future reference. So after a number of months or a number of years, so if you go back to these activities, history of activities, we'll come to know how many number of times we had communicated or we tried to communicate with our customer, with our specific customer. Okay. So every time that you communicate with your customer, you have to create activities. So and again, so whenever you try to communicate, so are you directly communicating with the or directly communicate within the account? So you are not communicating with the account. So account is a one, it is like a real object. So there should be some person within the customer with whom you can communicate with. And who is that person? So that person is nothing but a point of contact. So whenever you want to communicate, you have to choose one of these contacts. Okay, so maybe with the contact A, so maybe you would have, maybe you had a phone call. Maybe in the contact B, maybe you had a some in-person meeting. So maybe with the contact last one, so maybe you had some mail communications. So different contacts you can set up with different types of activities. So now we'll see how to create activities. Okay, so here you can see a new task. So click on the new task. The first one is assigned to. Okay, so here assigned to is a lookup to the user object. So when you look up to this user object, so currently I am the only person in the Salesforce instance. I am the only person in my Salesforce instance. But if you come to the real world, real application, so whenever you creating a task, you can assign to yourself, or you can assign to your team members, or you can assign to your the roles which are in the below hierarchy. Okay, so I'll assign to myself. Okay, subject, I'll just make up something. So follow up with customer, this is a subject. Or else here you can see there is some subject combo. If you click on this window, it will open up some default subjects like call, email, send letters, send quotation, and other. If you want to select anything out of this, you can select it, or you can have your own subject. So let me add under the description also, follow up with customer and get required details. Okay, so I am creating a task for myself to follow up with a customer. And who is the customer here? The customer is Technosoft Private Limited. So add, we had created the task from your account record. Automatically the related to is automatically, it has taken the Technosoft Private Limited. So whenever you want to follow up with the customer, so like I told you, so there should be some point of contact within the account record. So here you have to select your contact record. So now the contact will be, look up for the contact, and where you will get n number of the contacts in the real time. Search for the specific contact, and select the contact. So now you are having a follow up with your Technosoft Private Limited, and the person that I want to meet up, or the person that I want to follow up with, is Steve Jobs. And I'm making a due date for myself. The due date is within the next couple of days, on or before 31st of January. If I do not finish the task on or before 31st of January, then what will happen? It will breach to compliance. It will breach to compliance issue. This is how we track the number of compliance tasks and non-compliance tasks. Okay, so if you get any task, you must have to finish off on time in the real time. If you do not finish it off, it will breach to compliance issues. Now the status, so whether it is started or in progress, whenever I start following up, I can change it to in progress. Once it is completed, change it to the completed. And if I'm waiting for some update from other person, so I can change it to waiting for someone else. or if it is deferred, which if it is cancelled, I can change it directly to the deferred. So currently it is not started. And priority, whether it is high or medium or low, let's make it to high priority task. Okay, and here we have the concept of recurrence also. In the next example we'll see the recurrence task. Now click on the save. So now this is the our corporate customer, corporate account for my company, and this is one of the activity which have to do in future. Okay, this is a future activity, so where I have to follow up with one of the contact record. And here this is a task, this is the due date, the status is not started, it is yet to start. And once I start working on this, I can change the status to on working. So click on edit and change it to in progress. And once it is completed, you have to change the it is to completed. Okay, so this is a task which I have created against your Technosoft Private Limited, which is our corporate customer. So select this, and this is your one of the tasks. So let me create another task. So again, click on the task. I'll select some default subjects. Let's suppose send quotation, send quote by tomorrow, low priority, copy paste to comments, send quotation. And whenever you are sending the quotation, so you have to send it to some person. The person is an individual, and that individual is a contact. So let's send it to this one. So every time that we communicate to our customer, even if it is small, sending a quotation to big meetings, whatever it is a minor thing or major thing, we have to track each and everything in the Salesforce application. This is why we are creating our customers in the Salesforce. Why we are creating the customers? Because to maintain, not only to maintaining your customers, to also communicate with your customers. So every time that you have communicated, you also have to track all your communications within your Salesforce application. Okay, click on the save. So here we have two activities which will going to happen in the future. So now let's create this recurrence task. So what do you mean by recurrence? Recurrence means so where you can create the series of tasks which happens on your based on the time frequency that you set. Okay, so click on the new task. So I'll make it as some daily updates. So let's suppose the customer has requested to send a daily updates on the design part. On the design part. So daily we have to send some updates on the design part at the end of the day, India times. Every day we have to send a email to the customer. So it is a daily recurring activity. Daily recurring activity. So instead of creating one activity for each date, the same activity, the same task is going to happen all the days. The next part, which is called recurrence. If you would like to create a recurrence series of tasks, yes. So what is your time frequency, whether you want to make it to daily or based on the weekly or monthly or yearly basis. So let's make it to daily, every weekday starting from, let's make it to starting from today's date to until 1st of February. Okay, so now here I'm creating a recurrent series of tasks where I had to send a daily mail from 29th to until 1st of February. So now one thing we have to observe, between 29th to 1st of February, how many days we have? 29, 30, 31st and 1st. 4 days we have. So this series of tasks is going to repeat for 4 days. So now whenever you're creating the recurrent series of tasks, you have to think or you have to observe whether one single task is going to create for 4 days. In this example, we have taken recurrent start date and end date. There are 4 days. So is it one task is going to create for 4 days upon clicking on the save, or 4 different tasks are going to create each for 1 day. Okay, so this one task is going to create for all the days, or 4 different tasks is going to create for each for 1 day. So 4 tasks for 4 days. Now we'll see that. Okay, now click on the save, and there is a reminder also where you can set up at 8 a.m. So at a.m. daily I'll be getting a reminder. So how I'll be getting a reminder? If I log into the Salesforce, so here once you log into the Salesforce, you will get a pop-up window. You will get a pop-up window with a blinking sound. Okay, so once you get that, so which you can treat it as a reminder. So now click on the save. Now we'll see whether the first one or the second one is going to create. Click on the save and scroll down, click on the show more, and here you can see, so daily updates, daily updates, daily updates, and daily updates. One for 29, one for 30, one for 31st, one for first. What happened here? 4 different tasks is created each for single day. Okay, one for 29, one for 30, one for 31st, and one for first. And here you can see this refresh kind of symbol. So this symbol represents to the recurrence activity. This is a recurrence. One is going to happen on 29th, one is 30, one is 31st, one is first. And all these things are the future activities, okay, which is going to happen in the future. Okay, like the same way. So whenever I create a task, I can create to myself, and here you can see the last column is assigned to. I can assign to myself, or I can assign to my team members or colleagues. If I have more number of tasks in my plate and which I couldn't able to finish off on time, then I can pass it on some of the tasks or events to my friends. So now we'll see event. So what is an event? Event is nothing but a scheduling a meeting. So click on the new event, new event. So again, event also I'm assigning to myself. The owner will be myself. Okay, what is the subject? Subject is meeting with CEO. Okay, so meeting with CEO. On meeting with CEO on requirements, something. Okay, so when it is going to happen? So it is going to happen on day after tomorrow, or maybe tomorrow. So between 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So what is the location? So location will be a video conference. So whenever you're setting up a meeting with your customer or with your individual who stays in the customer, so you have to select the particular contact. Okay, select that particular contact. So these are the contacts we have. I'll select randomly one of the contact, and on this contact, which is a ram v, let me go to that contact, open your contacts object and open this contact, and ram v. So there is an email field here. Let me update some random email id. Okay, save. So now Ram has a email ID. So where this is the his official email ID, or let it be personal email ID. So now here we are sending a event. We are creating an event, and we are inviting one of the contact. So whenever we are inviting one of the contact, in this contact, he should get notified. If he gets notified, only then he will come to know there is a meeting schedule at so and so time and so and so date. And how he will get notified? So based on the email, based on whatever the email that you had selected, for this email id a notification will be sent from Salesforce automatically. A notification will be sent automatically. Salesforce will send a notification to this contact's email id saying that so and so person has created a meeting. This is the subject of the meeting, and this is the start date and end date of the meeting. Okay, so like how we created the recurrent series of tasks, we can also create the recurrent series of events. Okay, so I am not creating the recurrence here. Click on the save, and here if you see, Scroll down. Here you can see a number of activities. Click on show more, and now these are all your task and events. Now by just looking into this entire table, how would I come to know which one is a task and which one is an event? Which one is a task and which one is an event? By just looking into this subject or any other field. So here you can see the fourth column, which is called task. Wherever the task is checked, that is a task. Wherever the task is not checked, unchecked, that is a event. Okay, that is how you can differentiate between a task and event. Okay, and again, so all these activities are the open activities. So these are all called, these are all the open activities. Open activities means the activities which are not yet closed. How you can close the activities? Whenever you change the status, whenever you change the status to completed, those are called your completed activities. If the status is not completed, then all the activities will be under your open activities. So now I'll create a task. I'll create a task again, which was already happened in the past. It has already happened in the past. So let's suppose it is a call. I call to the customer on so and so date. So it was in the past. Okay, and this was already a completed task. Change the status to completed. So directly I'm creating a completed activity. So I call to so and so person. Okay, completed task. Okay, so this is due date was already completed, the status is also completed. Now click on the save. Now we'll see what will happen. Click on the save, scroll down. So now here you can see the completed activities will go to the activity history. Okay, so whenever you change the status to completed, all the completed activities will go to the activity history. History means already the old ones. Okay, this is called your activity history. Open activities are the ones where the status is not completed, and activity histories are the activities where the status is equals to completed. Are you following?
Yeah, Pradeep. Pradeep, I have a doubt. When you assign the task to another person, and if that person completes the task, can that person edit the same task from his app?
Yes. Yes. So there is an
So it
option
is
to edit.
possible.
Yes. So that
Okay.
is all again comes to your the permissions level. So whether once it is completed, if you do not want to the user to edit the activity, so which can be done from your permissions concept.
Okay, okay. And I'm not very clear about this recurrence. Can you go back to that screen because
Yes.
I didn't get it properly.
Yeah. So here you can create a recurrent series of tasks.
Yeah.
So recurrence
Uh,
means so where the same activity will happen the all the time. So now let's take an example of our call, Salesforce call. So this is happening all the days from Monday to Friday at 11 p.m. India time. So this is a recurrent series of recurrent series of tasks, or I can say recurrent series of event also, which is where we are having a event here, where we are having a meeting here. Starts from let's suppose 1st of January to until end of March. So all the days Monday to Friday between these 3 months, all the days at 11 p.m. India time. So an activity which is an event is scheduled. This is called your recurrence, where the same activity is going to happen for n number of days as per the time frequency which you will set it up.
So it's only one single task can be is assigned to n number of days. There is no
Exactly.
concept like n number of tasks for one day. It's not like that, right? So it's only one concept, one single of task assigned to n number of days.
No, it's other way around. Other way around. That is what we are saying, right? Let me show you. So we have created here the same task is actually created, but a number of days. The same task.
Correct.
So one for the 29th, one for 30th, one for 31st, and one for 1st.
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So there is no other way around. Like what I said, like one task, I mean number of tasks for one day. I mean
Yeah, number
different
of
tasks.
tasks to one day. Exactly. Yeah. The same
Okay.
task, it can't be for multiple days.
Okay.
Okay. So because
Okay.
here the due date is one of the fields, so where you can select only one date, you cannot select multiple dates.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
That is why you can create only one date.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, good. Yeah. Now, so now let's suppose I'm a salesperson, so I'm keep on getting the activities which are of type event or task on different account records. So where my manager is keep on assigning some tasks or events for different account records. So daily morning, so my duty is, let's suppose I have to log in and have to see the list of all the tasks or events which is assigned to my plate, and I have to close it out accordingly. So when you have some millions of records in the Salesforce, accounts or contacts or opportunities, so I can't go to each and every account and open the record and have to see whether any task or event is scheduled on my name or not, right? So that is not possible. So instead, I need a place where I can see all the open activities for all the records. So that is called your home page. If you go to your home page, if you go to your home page, and here we have something called my task. So here we'll get the list of all the tasks which are open against your all your records, regardless of whatever the record if it is, you will get all your open activities, open tasks. And here you can see currently there are so many drop down values, and if I select overdue, there are no any overdue as of now. And if I select today, let me check. Yes, see, for today there is one of the activity which is against the related to this customer. And like the same way I'll take tomorrow, and tomorrow there are two activities. And I'll take this month, as we have one of the option called this month. If I select this month, we have these months. So if I go to my, if you go to home page and if I select this my task, so this is the place where you can see the list of all the tasks which are open tasks under my plate for the different account records of the customers. These are only the tasks coming to the events, and here you can see calendar. So there is one which is scheduled meeting with CEO and against the contact, and it is going to happen on the Wednesday. This is the only meeting which is got scheduled in near future. And if you had created any other events, then you can see all the upcoming events from your home page. Okay. Now, so going back to your account record, now scroll down. So we have seen how to get contacts, opportunities, activities, which are open activities and closed activities called activity history. So now we have something called notes and attachments. Attachments. So first we'll see the notes. So notes means, so where you can write some notes related to this customer. So now I want to describe more about this customer. So here anyways we have the description field. So where you can describe more about your customer. Now let's suppose the description field is not enough. I want to add more and more information related to this customer. So in this case, I can use note object as an example. So just click on the new note. Just click on the new note here. And once you click on a new note, it will take you to the page. So where you can create some notes. Some any random notes. I'll just copy the account name about customer. So where I can write whatever the information that I have. Okay, so like this we can create as many notes as we can. So here you can see the body is very big text box, so where you can write n number of characters, so where you can explain or where you can have the overview about your customers in more number of characters. And again, if you want to make this as a private, so what is a private? We already seen under your opportunities. Whenever we create an opportunity, we have a concept called private. So if you mark any this private as checked, So then this record is visible only to the owner of the record, but not to anybody else. Okay. And again, if you want to create any kind of confidential information, all those confidential informations you can create directly under the notes, and you can make it to private to checkbox true. Okay. So like how we have the notes, we also have the concept called attachments. So where you can attach the files related to this corporate customer. So maybe we would have exchanged some negotiation documents, or I can say maybe we would have exchanged some requirements documents or analysis documents or quotations or any products requirements, any kind of documents that exchanged between my company to my customer company. Then we can upload all those attachments under this attach file section. Just click on attach file and choose the file from my local machine. I'll just randomly choose any one of the file and click on open and click on attach file. And this is the file name, so where report something something dot xls file, and the size is 13 KB. And here comes your definite certification question. Certification question is, what is the maximum size of an attachment? What is the maximum size of a single attachment? What is the maximum size of a single attachment? A single attachment, it should not be beyond 25 MB. The maximum size of a single attachment is 25 MB. If a single attachment size, if it is less than 25 MB, then you can upload as many attachments as you can, until unless a file or attachments meets the limitation. And here I'm uploading an attachment, so where the size is just 13 KB, as it is less than 25 MB, definitely I can upload it. Just click on done. And if you scroll down under your customer, and where we have one of the attachment and one of the node. And if you want to download this attachment, again you can go to this attachment and click on the view file, where the file will be downloaded to back to your machine. So like this, I can upload as many attachments as you can, and this is the definite certification question, so which you have to, you know. So whenever I say the limitations like maximum size, and we have seen another limitation. What is it? Recycle bin concept. Not written. Yeah, deletion part. So deletion part will be only for 15 days, right? So whenever we discuss this kind of limitations, always you have to test in such a way that you have to test the contradictory. So which means, so here maximum size of a single attachment is 25 MB. So try to upload a file which is greater than 25 MB. Okay, just create any big file which is greater than 25 MB and try to upload that file and see whether it is successfully uploading or not. If it is not, then what is the error that you are getting? This is how we have to test the Salesforce. Okay. So here I have uploaded one of the attachment and one of the node, and this is how we can upload nodes and attachments. And finally, we have something called partners. The partners to this customer. Okay. So now here my company name is ABCD company. Now for my company, we have one of the corporate customer. The corporate customer name is Technosoft Private Limited. Now for the Technosoft Private Limited, maybe they might be having their own customers. Like how the Technosoft is my customer, my company customer, Technosoft might be having their own customers. Okay, so let's suppose I take the company name as XYZ. So now this company XYZ will be a partner to our company. This XYZ company will be a partner to our company. So this XYZ company is also a account record. So this XYZ, which is a partner, so is also an account record within your Salesforce. It should be an account record. So now this is the Technosoft Private Limited. So who is our corporate customer? So now here you can see the partners. Click on the new partner. Once you click on the new partner, so here you can look up into the partners object. You have to look up into the account object. So search for your account. So these are the number of account records where you're getting. Let's take Birla Software. And here you can see n number of roles. So these are all your different roles. Let's take an example, supplier. So now the Birlasoft company is one of the organization where it supplies the goods or supplies the products to Technosoft Private Limited. Or else I'll take another company. Search for the account record and let's take Capgemini Solutions. The role is I'll take advertiser. So now the Capgemini Solutions is an advertising company and the role is it is an advertiser to this Technosoft Private Limited. So on behalf of Technosoft Private Limited, so Capgemini Solutions, they advertise for that company. Like this, here we have different types of the roles. Let's suppose Hindustan Private Limited, which is a contractor. So Hindustan Private Limited is a contractor to the Technosoft Private Limited. So these are called your partners. So partners will have the different types of roles. Okay, so my company's customer is Technosoft and Technosoft company's customer will be someone else. So those will be your partners in our instance. Okay, just select your account records and the role for that particular partner. Click on the save and this is your account contact and opportunity creation. And if you open any of your account records, so we have just taken an example of one record and this customer, it has a number of contacts, a number of opportunities, a number of activities, activity history, and any attachments got exchanged, notes and partners. Okay, so this is how any salesperson or end user person, they creates different account contact opportunity, and whenever if they interact with the customers, so this is how they create activities and upload attachments and create partners. Okay, so the next part, the next one we'll see the campaigns and leads. So in our very first class we have discussed there are two different types of customers, which is called direct customer and indirect customer. So whatever we have discussed the process now, so accounts, contacts and opportunities, those are all comes under your direct customer. So direct customer means where the customer itself, they are interested in your project, in your product, and customer itself come to your sales center and customer itself, they will purchase your product. Okay, so always the direct customers starts from account, contact and opportunity. But if it is an indirect customer, so indirect customers always starts with from campaigns, leads and accounts, contacts and opportunities. So what is an indirect customer, what is a campaigns, leads, now we'll see. Okay, we'll see with an example. Okay, so now you all join for the Salesforce classes from one of the consultancy. So let's suppose it is a let's suppose it is XYZ consultancy. Okay, now XYZ consultancy, which is online training consultancy, it has multiple products. It has multiple products. So what are those products? So those products, they have the Salesforce online training, Salesforce offline training, Java online training, SAP online training, so different trainings. So these are all the company's products. Now let's take, I'll take one of the product is Salesforce online training. So this is the product which the consultancy have. Now they have to promote this product, right? So once they have the product in place, so they have to promote it. Okay, so if you take an example of Hyundai, so Hyundai will a lot of cars, i10, i20, and there are lot many cars. So once they have the product in place, they have to promote their product, company's product. Like the same way, whatever the product that XYZ consultancy has, they have to promote their company's product. And now, how can they promote it? There are so many ways where the company can promote it, like TV advertisements, paper advertisements, banner advertisements, or paper pamphlets, or email directing. There are so many ways where they can promote it. And that promotion is nothing but campaigns. Campaigns are nothing but promoting the products. Promoting the products. Okay. So now this consultancy company, they have promoted their own product, which is the Salesforce online training. So now for this product, so now they have promoted using the, let's suppose, some paper advertisements or email advertisements. So now this consultancy company, they had email to every one of you. So now you all wanted to see, you all wanted to learn Salesforce, and now let's suppose you had attended for a Salesforce demo class. Okay, so now you have listened to the complete Salesforce demo class, and once the demo part is completed, the consultancy company, they will take the feedback from you. They'll take the feedback, right? The feedback form will contain what is your name, phone number, email ID, address. So how would you rate on the scale of 5, 1 being the highest and 5 being the lowest for the demo part? Would you like to continue for the Salesforce classes or not? Do you need a weekend batch or weekday batch or morning class or evening class, like this? Which will be the feedback. Now, so those feedbacks are nothing but the leads. So once you promote your company's product, whatever the feedbacks that you get, it feedback given by the user, so those feedbacks are nothing but your leads. Each user feedback will be uploaded against your each lead record. So now you all had given the feedback. There are, let's suppose there are 5 people, so all the 5 people, they had given the 5 different feedbacks, which uploaded against your 5 different leads. Now the demo has been completed. Now this consultancy people, they will call you back. So you would have given your email ID or phone number or fax number or whatever, WhatsApp number. So they will call you back on your personal mobile number or email ID or whatever it is. So once they call you, so you had attended for the Salesforce demo part, and let me know so if you would like to continue for the classes or not. Right? Now let's suppose for this Salesforce demo class, there are 10 students who had attended for the demo part. Out of these 10 students, they had given the 10 different feedbacks. So all the 10 different student feedback will be uploaded again as the 10 different lead records. Now the consultancy people, they will call back to all the 10 leads, asking whether you are continuing with the classes or not, whether you would like to continue the classes or not. Now let's suppose out of these 10 students who are the 10 leads where we have, so let's suppose 8 leads, they said yes, they will continue it, and 2 leads, they said no because of their personal reasons, right? It's not like all the person who joined for the demo, it's not like they will continue for the classes, right? Now, so these 2 leads and 8 leads, these are all the leads which we had stored under the leads object. Now, these 2 leads who are not interested to purchase your company product, what is the company product here? Salesforce online training. So these 2 leads who are not interested to continue with your company's product, or who are not interested to purchase your company product, you will close these leads as unsuccessful leads. We have to close these 2 leads as a unsuccessful leads. Why it is unsuccessful? Why it is unsuccessful to the company? So let's suppose these 2 leads also they had purchased your company product. So if they are purchased, then only we would have got some more revenue from the customers, right? Now let's suppose from these 8 students, so we got some 80,000, where each student has paid 10,000 INR. And if we had got these two students also, we would have got 20,000 extra. So as these two leads are not interested, so we have lost 20,000 rupees. Okay, so which means we are unable to convert the lead into the customer. So until here, it is actually the leads. They may or may not be purchase your product, may or may not be. If they are not purchase your product, so which means it is an unsuccessful lead. Unsuccessful lead means where you are unable to convert a lead into the customer. So coming back to this 8 leads, 8 students who are interested. So once they are interested and once they had purchased the company's product, so the company's product is the Salesforce Online Training. So these 8 students, they had paid the fees to the consultancy. Okay, so some X number of dollars. So once you have paid, once these 8 students have paid the so once these 8 students have paid for the product, which is a Salesforce Online Training. So now these 8 students, they are no longer the leads. So these leads are actually the customers. So these 8 leads are the successful leads. So when we have to say the successful leads, so we have the concept called lead conversion mechanism. I'll show you this practically. So which means until here, so wherever we have the leads, which means feedback given by the different users. So these 8 students, 8 leads, so they had purchased the company's product by paying X number of dollars. So once they had purchased the company's product, so which means they are actually the customers. From today onwards, you all of you, you are actually the customers to the ABC consultancy, because you have paid some X number of dollars and you're getting the classes, which means you have purchased some product. Now you are no longer a lead, you are all the customers to the Prakash consultancy, right? Now these leads, once they are successful, once they had shown the interest, once they have paid, we will have the concept called lead conversion mechanism. So these 8 leads will have to be converted, and once it is converted, these leads, it will get converted into account, contact, and optionally opportunity. So each and every lead will be automatically I can say, so each and every lead will be automatically converted into account, contact, and optionally opportunity. This is an option. Okay, so I repeat. So we have the first of all, we have the campaign, so where we have to promote our company's product. And once we promote our company's product, so we'll be getting the leads, which means the feedback when we give different users. So before each and every user provides the feedback, first of all, the user will go through your company's product. Company's product, what is the pros, what is the cons, what is the configuration, what is the benefits, what are the negatives, what are the positives, and everything. So once the person goes to your company's product, so then they will go, then they will give the feedback. So based on the feedback, we in the sense marketing department people, the marketing department people, they will call back to the leads and they will ask, so you had given the feedback to the our company's product, let me know if you are interested or not. If the lead says no, they are not interested, so we will directly change the lead to unsuccessful leads. And if the lead is shown the interest, so then we will change the lead to the successful lead. And once it is successfully converted, then automatically it will get converted into account, contact, and optionally opportunity, which is very important concept, lead conversion mechanism. Okay, so basically coming to the real time, so we have the two different departments, one will be the marketing department and one will be the sales department. The marketing department will handle the campaigns and leads, right? So they are the persons who has to promote the company's product, and they are the persons who has to reach out to the leads and everything. And once the lead is converted, which will be into the accounts and contacts and opportunity, so those will be handled by the sales department, because sales department are the ones who have to sell the company's product, right? Now we'll see all these things in practical. So now here you can see there is a campaign. So I click on the campaign. So I'm creating a campaign for my company. What is my company name? ABCD. So my ABCD company, let's suppose it is an appliances company, or let's take very simple example. It is a laptop based company. So where it manufactures laptops. So first of all, I'm creating a campaign. So there is a new laptop. The laptop name is something N5422 series. So this is a new laptop which came into the market. Okay, so this is a new laptop which manufactured in the warehouse, and now before it actually comes into the market, we have to promote this product. So if you have some enough budget, if you have some enough budget, so then we can also call some celebrities or heroes or heroines, and we can ask them to promote our company's product. And if you have very less budget, so we can just have to promote it by means of TV advertisements or paper advertisements, or at least banner advertisements. It depends on the product to product and company to company. And is it active campaign? Yes, it is an active campaign. And how you're planning to do this campaign? Like I can say webinars or advertisements or banner advertisements or email or telemarketing, how you want to do this campaign. Let's take some advertisements. What is the status of this? Is it planned or is it already in progress? It is just a planned one. So when you are going to start this, I'm going to start this from 1st February to until 8th of February. So whenever you, the marketing department users, if you are a marketing department, if you want to promote the company's product, so definitely you should need some budget from the company. If the company gives you a budget, only then you can promote it. It is not something like you have to keep it from your pocket, right? So you have to get a budget from the company. So what is the budget cost? So I can just give some $100. What is expected revenue? So now you are taking $100 from the company. Now out of this $100, and once the advertisement is completed, how much you are expecting the revenue? How much you are expecting? So this is again, these are all your financial terminologies. Okay, I'll just keep some random number. What is actual cost? I'll just keep some random number. And number of people sent into this campaign, I'll just add 5. So my team size is 5 members. I want to include all my 5 members into this campaign. If you had already completed a campaign earlier on the same product, so then you can select that campaign as a parent campaign only. So description, so where you can describe more about your company's product, and this is your campaign. And once you have the campaign in place, then we will get what we get, leads. We will get the leads from the campaign. So now I'll go to the lead. I'll create a new lead. So let's suppose here I'll take Mr. Prakash M. Company. The company is working for, let's suppose, DLX Sunrise Company organization. Some random name. What is his title? Prakash title. He is the CEO of the company. Lead source. So how we got a lead? So this lead source is actually there under your contact. If you guys have observed, within the contact, here we have the lead source. So this lead source is nothing but this particular lead source. So how we got a lead? How we got the feedback from this Prakash for this campaign? So here you can see the campaign. So let's suppose I search for the campaign, and this is the campaign which we have. So now this lead, whatever the lead we are creating, so we are creating the lead which we got it from this campaign. So how we got this lead? What is the lead source? Is the user contacted you like phone inquiry or a web inquiry or a purchase list or partner referrals? How we got it? Let's suppose it is a web inquiry. So industry, the company's industry. I'll take communications, annual revenue, some X number, and phone number, fax, mobile number, all these details. I'll take some random number, copy paste, email ID of the contact, and website of the company, www.blxsunrise.com, and lead status. So I'll come to this lead status and rating, company rating, number of employees working under this company, and address information. I'll just update city and country, and some additional information if you have any, like primary, yes, number of locations of the company, 2, and description, so where you can describe about this lead. Okay, and now here you can observe some of the fields like company, industry, annual revenue, phone, fax, website, rating, and number of employees. So these are the fields which you can see on your account. See, account has industry, revenue, phone, fax, website, employees, and also number of locations and this. So once you convert it, whatever the information that you updated here, the same will be carried forward to your account. And let's take some other fields like first name, last name, title, mobile number, email ID, and what else? And primary. So these are all the fields which you can see it on your contact. See, on the contact we have the title, phone number, fax, email ID, and also level primary. Okay, so once you convert it, so this will be automatically carry forwarded to your contact. So now click on the save. So now we have got one of the leads. The lead name, lead means user. So one of the lead name is Prakash, and he is currently working under this company. And we got this lead from the campaign. What is the campaign? Scroll down. We got it from one of the campaign names. Okay. So now we, the marketing department, we have got this lead, and we have to contact him. How we can contact him? We have the phone number, mobile number, email address, website, and by any of these sources we have to contact him. So once we have contacted, so we have to change the status to from open not contacted to working contacted. So contacted means, which means it is a activity. So whenever you have contacted it through phone or mobile or email ID, whatever it is, you have to create a task or event accordingly. If it is a task, event. So let's create, I'll create a event contacted lead. Okay, this is a completed one. Okay, and this here you can see the phone number. This is the lead phone number and lead email. Okay, so I have contacted the lead, which is already a completed task. And when I contacted him, let's suppose he said he is not interested. So when he is not interested, he will directly change the status to closed, not converted. Closed, not converted, and click on the save, which means this is a closed lead and this is a unsuccessful lead, not converted lead. Okay, click on the cancel. I'm not saving the changes. Currently the status is called working contacted. So whenever I contacted him, let's suppose he said he is interested, he's going to purchase our company's product. So now here we got the concept called convert. So here you can see there is a convert button, which is called your lead conversion mechanism. The moment you convert this particular lead, this entire lead will be automatically converted into account, contact, and optionally opportunity. Okay, and click on the convert. Now we'll see the lead conversion mechanism. See very carefully. Click on the convert, and here the record owner. If you want to continue with the same record owner, you can continue it, or if you want to change it, from the marketing person to the salesperson, you can select the salesperson. And if you want to send a email notification to the salesperson, you can check this box. And account name, so automatically the account name here you can see account name is already been selected as DLX Sunrise Automation. This is what we had updated on your lead. This is the account name, and the Prakash M will be the contact name and opportunity name. If you do not want to create an opportunity upon conversion, check the box, then opportunity won't be created. If you uncheck it, then opportunity will be created. Okay, so let's use some opportunity name as N5151 series laptop. Okay, and always you can convert it only if the status equals to closed converted. And also create a task. So let's create a task for this. Follow up with customer. So now until here, it is the responsibility of the marketing department. Now the responsibility is going to the sales department to sell the products. So when it is changing the responsibility, the marketing user, he can create a task, and he or she can create a task for the sales department user. Okay, that is what here. Follow up with the customer and sell the products. And sell products. Status not started, due date. I'll just update some due date. Priority high. And now here you can see the moment you click on the convert, and here currently the leads object is highlighted, right? The moment you click on the convert, we will automatically go to the accounts object. From the lead, it will be automatically converted into the accounts. Click on convert, and it has been converted successfully. And here you can see now we are under the accounts tab. This is an account name, and here you can clearly see Pradeep converted a lead to this account. This is not an account which is directly created. This is not a direct customer, but what it is, this is a indirect customer which came from campaigns, leads, and accounts, contacts, and opportunities. Converted a lead to this account. And here you can see the account details, whatever you had given under the leads, and this is your contact, okay, which is your lead name, this is an opportunity name, and this is a completed activity, and this is your open activity. All this information, it came from your lead, and this is called your lead conversion mechanism. Any questions? No?
Pradeep, lead need not be necessarily only from campaign, right? It can
Yes.
be from referral also.
Yes, it can be from the referral also. Yes. So that is why, so whenever you create a lead, the campaign selection is not a mandatory.
Okay.
Lead can also be independent lead, which can be
So
from
in
that.
that case, we don't have to mention the lead source from lead
Yes,
source in the sense from referral or from the advertisement or something like that.
exactly. Yeah. So or else you can create any other new drop down values, like how you can see here. You can select like, or else you can select other, and you can update it.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Any more questions?
Hi, Pradeep, this is Swati.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have few questions like not on leads or campaigns. Before our task, uh, like first question is like We are creating recurrence task, right?
Recurrence task is,
Yeah, we can update the comments for that.
yeah, whatever the comments we have, we can update it. For your
Oh,
completed, that is what we have discussed. So even Vidya asked the same question. Even for the completed activities also, we can update the comments. So once we have closed this, so let's suppose this is a closed one, right? So before you are actually closing it, you have to properly mention when exactly you had closed it and why you have closed it and on which date you have closed it. So before you are
okay.
actually closing, so where it's in status to complete it, here you can update some date and along with the proper comments.
Okay.
Okay.
There is one more thing like my task when we can see in the homepage, right?
Mhm.
Which tasks are assigned to us. Like in
Right.
that, I had seen some quotation mark in the subject line. Is it for the
This is called high priority.
okay?
So for the task wherever it's selected priority is high, those are
Mm-hmm.
called your here you can see high priority.
Okay. Yeah.
Any more?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Prasad, Bhaskar?
Yeah, Pradeep, sorry. When you said we have to create the leads. When you get leads means obviously it's the feedbacks. When you get like say from 100 customers or the 100 people, you just got feedbacks. Are you gonna create a lead for all the 100 feedbacks,
Yes, we do.
and then you have to individually
Yes.
assign everything contacted and all that?
Yeah. So for this actually, so we will not actually create a lead by lead, so which means we will not do the manual process. So where we have something called the bulk process. So if you have more number of records, we will not go to the each and every object like click on the new and update the fields, values, and click on the save. So uh, where it will take more number of hours to create all the leads.
Yeah.
So that is why we have one of the concept called data loader, so which we'll see in the future classes. So where you have some hundreds of records or thousands or even millions of records if we have, we can load all the millions of the records into the Salesforce in a fraction of seconds.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so which is called your bulk data loads. Bulk number of records where you can load the data.
Okay.
Any more?
No.
Bhaskar? All good?
Yes, sir.
Thanks guys, thanks for joining the class today. We'll wrap up and we'll join back tomorrow the same time. And please practice. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you, Pradeep.